What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Sunday, March 29th. These picks apply for the FanDuel simulated slates. And at the end of this video, I'll give you a few DraftKings picks for their simulated showdown slates. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, real quick for those who don't know how these simulated slates work on FanDuel, everything works the same. You build a full lineup using the players available in the slate. The only difference is the fantasy points each player scores is a fantasy score from any game that player has played so far this year. Only players with at least 15 games played are in the player pool. Pretty simple, they just take a score at random from previous games that player has played, and that's it. So knowing how that works, we've added some tools to Draft Dashboard so you can see all the possible outcomes of scores from each player, and we show the percent chance that the player has to score in each point range. So pretty handy, you can hover over the Sim Scores button and see right here exactly what scores this player can get for this contest. It will be one of these at random, and then you can see what percent chance they have to score in these point ranges. Okay, let's get into these picks. Okay guys, I just want to remind you before we get started, we got the esports cheat sheet going on here, the League of Legends daily cheat sheet, and that's now linked from the sports tab at the top of the site. And another update that we made on FanDuel, our dash rank is now using the projected value. So that's going to help you build better lineups in the lineup optimizer. But let's get into these picks. At the point guard position, I like Lonzo Ball, projected at 33.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 6,300 FanDuel salary. Now let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 7% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 34% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 39% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And he has a 20% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So you're looking at a 59% chance to get you 5 times value or more. So I like Lonzo Ball here at 6,300 FanDuel salary. Another point guard that I like is De'Aaron Fox, projected at 38.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 7,400 FanDuel salary. Now let's take a look at his sim scores. Only a 4% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, an 11% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 69% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, an 11% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 4% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So he's got some major upside. So I like De'Aaron Fox here at 7,400 FanDuel salary. Okay, who do we have at the shooting guard position? I like Jrue Holiday, projected at 40.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 7,800 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, so that's great. He has a 22% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 47% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. He has a 25% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. And he has a 5% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So you're looking at a 30% chance to get 45 plus fantasy points and get you way over 5 times value. So I like Jrue Holiday here at 7,800 FanDuel salary. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, a value play that I like here at shooting guard is Josh Hart, projected at 23.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,500 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has an 18% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 53% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. That's your value zone. And then he has a 30% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I like Josh Hart here at 4,500 FanDuel salary. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Brandon Ingram, projected at 40.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 7,600 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. Only a 4% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 16% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 53% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, a 26% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 60 plus fantasy points. So I like Brandon Ingram here at 7,600 FanDuel salary. And a value play that I like at the small forward position is Tim Hardaway Jr., projected at 23.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 4,500 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. 17% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 52% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. That's your value zone. A 29% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So you're looking at a 31% chance to score 30 fantasy points or more and get you 6 times value or more. So I like Tim Hardaway Jr. here at 4,500 FanDuel salary. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I'm going to keep giving you this guy every time he's on the slate until they raise his price. I like Zion Williamson, projected at 36.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's 6,600 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 16% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 74% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, which is 5 times value or more, and then he has an 11% chance to crush his value and score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Zion Williamson here at 6,600 FanDuel salary. Another power forward I like is Rashon Homes, projected at 30.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,900 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has an 8% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 44% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 38% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 10% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So that's a 48% chance to score 30 fantasy points or more and get you over 5 times value. So I like Rashon Homes here at 5,900 FanDuel salary. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. So look, guys, I know there's not a lot of sports playing right now, but we are posting a daily cheat sheet for esports for the League of Legends contests, and we just added these new DFS tools for the NBA simulated slates. We're going to be updating our tools to help you pick the best players for these sim sports, and I think these tools are going to give you a big advantage. There's no human element here. This is a stats game. This is a math problem. This is where our tools can really help you identify the numbers, the percent chance these players are going to score within these point ranges, so you know what you're getting into with each pick. Okay, moving on to the center position. A value play I like here is Cody Zeller, projected at 23.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 4,500 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 17% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 60% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. That's your value zone. And then a 19% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And a 3% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Cody Zeller here at 4,500 FanDuel salary. And one of the studs that I like at the center position here tonight is Clint Capela, projected at 38.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 7,600 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. Only a 3% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 26% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 49% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. A 21% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. And a 3% chance to score 60 plus fantasy points. So I like Clint Capela here at 7,600 FanDuel salary. Okay guys, I'm not going to go through all the stats here. I'm not really loving these showdowns for the simulated slates. I think DraftKings should do the full slate, but this is what we got. So I'm going to give you the best value play here. It's Dragon Bender, projected at 16.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 11.8 times value because he's only 1,400 DraftKings salary. So Dragon Bender, great value play if you want to fit some studs in there. And then another nice value play, a guy that's got some upside, is Draymond Green, projected at 28.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value, and he's only 5,400 DraftKings salary. And then four more plays that I like. Andre Drummond, projected at 47.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.5 times value. He's 10,400 DraftKings salary. But you got to get this guy in there. He's got a 12% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. And then a few other good plays here. Larry Nance Jr. at 6,000 DraftKings salary, projected at 25.6 fantasy points. Colin Sexton at 7,400 DraftKings salary, projected at 30.9 fantasy points. And Kevin Love at 9,400 DraftKings salary, projected at 37.1 fantasy points. So those are my picks for the DraftKings showdown. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. Okay guys, if you're getting any value from this video, please hit that red subscribe button. We put out new fantasy basketball videos every single day. So if you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification, you won't miss out on any of our new fantasy basketball and fantasy football videos. Tons of free stuff coming your way. It only takes a second, and it helps us push out more fantasy content for you guys to consume each and every day. It's because of you subscribers that make this possible. So thank you for supporting this channel. This is a quick reminder, you should be reading the comments of this video. We have some savvy basketball fans who watch these videos, and they often give great plays and call me out when my picks are wrong. Wisdom of the crowd is a great way to get a feel for what players the field likes in today's NBA slate. We also have a DFS tool that shows you what players our members like for today's slate. So you can come on in and check that out.